Time marches on.
And the age of a new king
Draws nearer.
My name is Joseph Tweedale, and I voice Louis Squeerburn in Metaphor ReFantazio.
My name is Matt Whitchurch, and I play Basilio.
My name's Mathew McQuinn, and I voice Fidelio in Metaphor ReFantazio.
When I first heard of the world of Metaphor, I mostly was so excited because it was like fantasy. I'm a massive fan of fantasy and magic and dragons, and I remember coming in to look at some of the design for the game early on in the process of recording, and I was just blown away. The style of it, Luis's Gauntlet Runners, like nothing I've ever experienced before.
My first introduction to the world of Metaphor, I was like, what is this? This is amazing. It's so huge. I need to delve into this more. I need to know more. And obviously we did over hours and hours and hours and hours of recording it. I loved the kind of like regal and royal element, like the fancy element of it, but I also love the cogs and the gears and the machinery. I thought that was a really cool mix.
The world of Metaphor is sprawling. It's enormous. When I started looking into it, there was just like another layer and then another layer and another layer. The deeper you start to dive into it, the more you have to sort of go back to the beginning and almost build like a family tree of who knows who and who knows what and how they know them and where they've come from, which is a good sign of a great game.
How would I describe Luis? He is a young, charismatic military commander. He is a bit of an upstart, has these ideals of changing the world. I think the current regime of the game, they're worried about him because he's developed this following. He is an accomplished warrior and wizard mage. He wants to change things and he'll do anything to achieve those goals.
How would I introduce my character? He's of the Parapus tribe, so he's sort of half man, half beast. I describe him as loyal, principled. I think he's fun, but he's dangerous as well.
Fidelio is loyal to a fault. Sometimes the loyalty makes him blind to things that he should really pay more attention to. That's where Basilio comes in. Little Jiminy Cricket, his conscience voice. And what I found interesting about him was that he latches on very quickly to Luis and doesn't let go, even when he probably should. And even when other people around him are starting to ask questions.
I love Luis's design. I love how he's so outwardly flamboyant, but also really kind of reserved. How no nonsense he is. He doesn't really care what anyone thinks. If, say, he made a decision that thousands of innocent people died, Luis is the kind of guy who'd be like, well, I had to do it because we've got to change the world. And if you can't see that, then you shouldn't be in the game you are. And I like a cloak. If someone could get me a Luis cloak, that'd be made.
I think Fidelio's a really interesting character because he's so defined by his relationship with his brother. They're a package deal. There's this interesting dynamic that he's the older brother, but he's also the smaller brother. He's also the more serious one, the one who's most defined by his loyalty. In fact, his name, Fidelio, means loyal in Roman. I looked it up. He's sort of unaware of how emotional he is, of how his emotional attachments kind of manifest as passion. He thinks that passion is a sort of a really logical decision that he's made, but actually it's an attachment that he's formed without even realizing it.
He's got a pretty cool costume. Everybody that's seen Basilio that I know have been like, that's cool. That's you? That's cool. Voicing a character with a Scouse accent meant everything to me. I'm incredibly proud of being from Liverpool. I'm incredibly proud of being a part of that community and having family from there, having part of my heart there. It meant everything to be able to embody that and be able to bring that out.
How would I win the public's favour? Now, I kind of want to say that I would do something like really heroic. I like to make marmalade. I'd give everyone a jar of marmalade, and if they didn't like marmalade, that's fine. I'd give it back. Maybe that would win me some points on the board. If that was Luis's plan, he'd give you the marmalade. If you didn't like it, he'd kill you. Obviously, I wouldn't do that. I mean, maybe I should. Maybe that's the way to get to the top.
I'd probably try and get a laugh. That would be my first instinct. And if that doesn't work, I'd just try and be really nice.
I'd probably do a silly dance or something like that. I don't think I'd do anything like Basilio would. I'd say about 10 years ago, I'd do something really athletic, but not anymore.
How does battling anxiety resonate with me? As an actor, I struggle a lot with imposter syndrome and whether or not I'm doing the right thing. This industry is full of like rejection. It's very easy to go to a spiral of becoming disenfranchised with an industry that is creative because it's so subjective. So my voice might not sound right for something, and that sometimes can feel like a personal attack on me. But it's not. It's just how the industry works. And I think if I wasn't the kind of person that was able to use that anxiety and rejection to inspire me to believe in myself myself that I can keep going. There are times where it does become a lot and it's difficult, but then I just remember, oh yeah, I voiced that dude.
When I first got involved in the game, I just had my first child. And so I was facing a lot of fear in my own life about becoming a dad and not knowing what to do. But talking to people about the game and looking through the script and learning about the characters and the sort of the trials that they go through, you do learn that it's important to face your fears and to understand that everybody has anxiety, everybody has doubts, everybody has worries and fears, and that if you can build a community, find support, if you can learn that it's okay to express those worries and those doubts and those fears, that it's much easier to process them and to find comfort.
I think what draws people into this game so incredibly, like all great pieces of art, like all great stories, it speaks to kind of everyone right in here. It's a fantasy game, it's beautiful, it's exciting, but it's also full of allegories and metaphors.
The style of the game, that's one of the biggest things for me, I think. It's so unique, it's so colourful. There's just so much going on that's so exciting. That's why people love it.
It's been incredible to see how quickly the game has been latched onto by people and how well it's done. You've got people from quite a diverse background, lots of different accents, lots of different upbringings, lots of different experiences, who are working on a script that feels very lived in. It's a very, very smooth and absorbing experience.
I think it speaks to like the core of the human soul and about kindness and inclusion, community, sticking together. And I think that's really important at the moment. Beyond all of the fun and the thrills, it speaks to everyone. And I think that's what's really special about it.
Attack in any number, wield any weapons, but fight with your very lives. If you live by a creed, show me its strength!
Let's hear it, Basilio. You fight, but why?
Not really a choice. It's back to the starting line. This time, I'll lead. Ardell entrusted me with this chance. I've got to show him I've got this.
The United Kingdom of Uchronia. The year is 785. By this story of fantasy, may this faded world be painted anew.
Play the demo of Metaphor ReFantazio, available now.